Hey guys, what's up? It's Jesse here from Pickle Madness, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of Electrum's newest releases, the Model E Stealth. The Model E Stealth is one of 3 shapes in Electrum's new Stealth series of paddles. It has a core thickness of 16 millimeters, a very low swing weight of 105, which is actually really low for a paddle that's 16.5 inches long by 7.5 inches wide. It is on the lighter side when it comes to weight and can range from 7.6 ounces to 7.9 ounces, a handle length of 5.5 inches with a grip circumference of 4.25 inches. Which is pretty standard. It features a raw carbon fiber face and is edgeless, though unlike many other edgeless paddles, it does not have rounded edges. As a thermoform paddle, means it also has that perimeter foam filling to give it some extra power. The Model E Stealth can produce quite a bit of power on its own. And what I mean by that is when you hit the ball right in the sweet spot, which is just above the middle, it feels like it's almost trampolining off the surface of the paddle. I think probably the paddle that feels most similar to this that I've played with before is the Gearbox Pro Power series. The sweet spot is very prominent and you can definitely tell when you hit it. It makes quite a bit of a different sound when you hit in the middle here versus on the edges. Now the edges are going to be a little less reactive than the middle here. And that's pretty typical with these edgeless paddles because they don't have that cushioning and extra support that a lot of the paddles that have edges do. But definitely there's no issues when it comes to hitting drives or nailing putaways with this paddle. For someone who likes a bit of a heavier paddle, I would definitely add lead weight, at least to the bottom of the throat and the side. If you want to go all the way around, that would probably be fine too because this really is a very light paddle. And you can feel it when you hit the ball. You're gonna have to hold it a bit tighter if you don't have that extra weight on there, just because the force of the ball is gonna feel, just because of the weight, it's gonna feel like the ball makes a stronger impact on the paddle than if you were gonna have weight all around the edges. So on to control for the Electrum Model E Stealth. There's definitely no complaints when it comes to control. Now, it's not the best paddle out there for control if you're purely looking for a control paddle, but it's not trying to be either. This really is an all-around, just all-court paddle. It really does a solid job at pretty much every aspect that a paddle needs to be and when it comes to power, control, and spin, which I'll talk about next. You can easily hit your dings without worrying about popping it up too much. The weight of the paddle definitely allows you to get it up faster at the net. So if you leave it light and you're not gonna let it up and make it a lot heavier than it is, you will have quite a bit of an advantage over players that have a much heavier paddle at the net. So you'll be able to get it up faster and you'll be able to move it around faster. And that's also not only due to the weight, but also the very low swing weight that a paddle of this length has. If you're somebody who really loves like elongated paddles, but you wish you had more of an advantage up at the net when it comes to getting your paddle up and getting the ball back faster than your opponent can anticipate it, this is actually a pretty good choice for that. Now on to spin for the Electrum Model E Stealth. It does pretty much everything you'd want it to do for spin. It's got the carbon fiber face, which really is pretty much the same as all the other raw carbon fiber paddle faces out there. But something that is a bit different about this paddle, if you look closely at the design, you'll see all these lines. And here's the logo with the blue, but there's a bunch of white lines on here as well. And when you feel the paddle face, you can actually feel these lines slightly raised up. And I think that sometimes the ball does catch these lines. And of course it's legal, it's USA approved, but they do definitely raise off the surface of the paddle a little bit. I do think that they catch the ball and add a little bit of spin, which would not have been there before had it just been a blank raw carbon fiber surface. If I was gonna recommend this paddle to a certain type of player to use, I would definitely say somebody who likes the elongated paddle but favors their net game and wants their hands to be as fast as possible at the net, because this has a really, really low swing weight for the length of paddle that this is. Again, the weight is light, which I know some people don't like lightweight, but at least you can always add lead to it. So if it's too light, you can just add some lead. And the nice thing about lead too is if you want more weight, but you want to maintain that lower swing weight, well then you can add it to the bottom here. And if you want more weight and you want to increase the swing weight a bit, maybe get some more powerful drives, then you can add it to the top. But again, overall, this really is kind of an all-court, all-around paddle that most players would be able to play with just fine. It's not something that's drastically different that if you've never played with this paddle before and you were to pick it up, all of a sudden you wouldn't be able to play at all. And another thing for the price. So right now, this paddle is $164.99. Usually it's $220, but again, right now it's $164.99, which is 25% off. So if you do decide you want to purchase this paddle, you can get that price from picklemadness.com. I've got a link in the description below, and that comes with free shipping, and as well as that free paddle cover and edge guard to protect the edges. All right, guys, thanks for watching another Pickle Madness paddle review. This was the Electrum Model E Stealth. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.